this movie. The budget.
Okay, let's do that again. Sorry. Here we are again. Film Addicts Anonymous, brought to you by Starting From Scratch. I just want to say that it's just Josh and I again, but that's okay. We're having a great time, and you know what? Screw all those other guys. I mean, yeah, sure, like, it is a snowstorm outside, but I mean, like, they should be here, right?
Yeah, they're not true addicts.
No, we were actually going to watch a different movie tonight. We were going to watch Monkey Shines. Monkey Shines is directed by George A. Romero, but it was Jack's suggestion, so we'll be nice.
We will give him that satisfaction.
So we'll watch it with him. So tonight is Basket Case 3. We just decided today.
Because we were the only ones that were around for Basket Case 2. So this is kind of like this is just a Dan and Josh adventure.
And if you haven't listened to the Basket Case 2 episode, you should, because we need to tell you how bad it is.
It sucks.
While we were pretty drunk.
Yeah, it probably, like, just unravels and just into nonsense.
But that's okay. That's okay. We had a great time. We did it. And you know what? I'm okay with we might have been drunk.
And I bet also the guys that were around for Basket Case 1, I bet they don't really want to see number 2 and 3,
Those guys are not the guys that want to watch Basket Case 2 or 3, no. Like, they'll watch the OG and then just...
Oh, there was 3 movies. Oh, well, that sucks,
Like, what about Nightmare on Elm Street? There's, what, like 10?
Yeah. Like, yeah, has a horror franchise ever gotten better by, like, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, Once you're, like, past the first one, you're done.
Yeah, dunzo.
But yeah, Basket Case wasn't even, like, the first movie wasn't even that strong to, like, make this into, like, 10 years of Frank Henenlotter's life. He dedicated 10 years to make Basket Case.
That's
movies.
some, yeah, okay, so yeah, let's get into the history of it. Frank Lincolnlotter, whatever his name is, he directed the first, second, and third one. The first one came out in 1982, the second one came out in 1990, and now this one came out in 1991. So it's really weird that the second took so long to come out after the first, because he aged so poorly. Like, so poorly. And there was no one going, hey, I gotta ask you a question. What's in the basket? Nothing happened like that until the end.
Ignore that catchphrase.
Which is epic.
End.
Which is an epic line. I love it. But it only sounds good if you say it with the accent. But now, I wonder what's going to happen in Basket Case 3. And what's the second part? The Basket Case 3, the Progeny.
The Progeny, like children or offspring.
So,
remember when we saw them, 2 basket cases they fucked?
yeah, in the last one.
There's going to be babies.
There's going to be babies.
There's going to be many basket case babies.
But it still stars the main character, same guy, no one replaced him. So I'm pretty sure he was banging his lady at the same time.
Yeah, so there's probably like 2 sets of kids, like a basket case set of kids and a normal set of kids.
All I got to say is I don't know what I'm in for. And you know what? The biggest question is going to be, what's in the basket?
Box. Oh, basket.
Okay, let's do it one more time. What's in the basket? Gotta get it right, but I mean, like, that's still a pretty good intro to this.
That's pretty epic.
Oh yeah. So we just watched Basket Case 3, The Progeny. And you know what? like when we were talking about it in the first place, I thought that we were going to be watching a movie about like the kids already born.
That's not the case.
That's not the case, guys.
And it's funny too, cause the first, like, you know, cause like, I don't know, we saw it like a week ago or something, right? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a week and a half ago or something.
I don't even remember what happened.
I'm glad that okay,
and
so
they included that footage. I was just like, wait, that happened? That happened? That happened?
So when we say that they included the footage, each film, other than the first one, of course, references the film before it in the intro. So we get to see the ending of the previous one. And we must have been so bored that we forgot half of the things that happened at the end of the last one. But it was a good little recap. Before we get into anything else, we actually watched all 3 of these on Tubi, which is a free...
Yeah, Tubi's awesome.
Free website, free app on your TV. It's great. Thank you, Tubi.
Better than Netflix.
This is not a sponsorship. This is just that. Thank you. Thank you for letting us watch these.
Thank you. Yes.
And I'm pretty sure all 3, definitely the second and third, but I would assume the first one was as well. Was a Troama production.
I think so. I'm not sure.
And Troama is run by 2 guys,
Lloyd Kaufman and I don't know whoever the fuck the other guy's name is.
Mike something, Michael Hers.
Oh, yeah.
And they just throw a lot of money at a lot of things.
Yeah, apparently they like just give like $10,000 to like people to make a movie, and like you got to make a feature film for $10,000.
And a feature film is generally what, hour and 20?
Yeah, mostly an hour 20 to hour 30.
Yeah,
you
so
could probably get away with an hour and like 15. An hour
you
and
could get
11.
away with it, but the big thing is that you have to write
distributors aren't gonna
120 pages of actual script, because 1 page equals 1 minute. So if you think about it that way, the director definitely took the cheap way out in the intro, because he just took previous footage that he already
didn't even have
had
to
filmed.
shoot anything else. He
Yeah.
just started, but like, yeah, it was weird because I didn't remember it all, and it literally just starts when they're fucking.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Just 2
so yeah.
basket cases just going for it.
So Belial, which is the benign twin of the main guy, Dwayne, and then just the I forget the other, Eva.
I'm trying not to use the R word.
I think I think we should just say freak, because that's what they're referenced
Freak.
as.
Yeah.
Are freaks, and this is politically correct for this film. Okay.
This was
Politically
made
correct
in
for the-
1991. I was born in 1991, so.
I was born in 92, so this is older than I am.
This is what brought in, me.
Yeah.
Basket Case 3.
Yeah. My parents
Josh is
banged.
born.
my parents banged on that in the during that movie, and then I was born a year later. Okay.
Imagine your dad and your mom went to go see Basket Case 3.
And it was just so sexy that they had to
It's
bang
like,
after.
oh yeah, we're making Dan tonight.
I mean, there was a couple of sexy scenes. Anyways, we'll get to that. But yeah, so the intro is literally previous footage where the freaks, the 2 benign twins, are banging, which happened in the second one, and it freaked me out in the second one, and it freaked me out more in this one, because it's just like it's too long.
And it just starts.
It's too long. It's too long, and the noises. I mean, the Foley artist had a great time, but like, but for me, it was a little eccentric.
Foley artist.
Yes, Foley artists.
Artists.
And then what we definitely forgot was that Dwayne's lady friend from the second one, she had an alien in her stomach still. And she's like, it'll come out whenever it wants to come
It
out.
just stays there.
Because they're going to bang. And that's what we said in the intro, is that they banged, but they didn't.
Yeah, we lied.
We lied because we forgot. But it's because it was so late into the last film, and then it was kind of boring. But anyways, they they go to bang. She starts taking off her shirt, and all of a sudden, it literally looks like it's from Alien, the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like something comes out, and she's like, "Oh, don't be scared." And then she falls out the window and dies because Dwayne just can't handle it and accidentally pushes her.
Yeah, he pushes her.
And then right at the very end, what we forgot, because he freaks out about that, is that he takes his own benign brother, Bilal, and sews him back on.
Brother.
Sews him back on. He's like, now we can be together.
Forever.
And then, what happens next? Intro credits, which was the exact same...
Basket Case 3.
The exact same thing that happened at the beginning of the second one. It was the same intro. I feel like he's really reusing things, and I don't know if it's just because he's lazy or because he's like
saving the money,
saving the money,
extending the length. You got a feature film on your...
But there's literally nothing new until like 8 minutes in.
Yeah.
So we had to go through a recap. It felt like a TV show at that point. And then we were introduced to Dwayne in a straitjacket. Dwayne's in a straitjacket in a freaking mental room where it's like there's no sound
the freak
or whatever.
Facility, right?
The freak facility. So, it's not even that important. Like half of the things in this movie weren't important. So we get. Don't look at my notes.
I'm looking at your notes.
Don't look at my notes.
No, your notes are my notes.
No, because my notes are better than your notes because you didn't write any.
Yeah.
My notes are great. But what happens next? I forget. It doesn't even matter because the main lady of the freak show, the freak town, the freak house.
She's having just such a good time with her acting that she's just, gets carried away,
She gets carried away, and then we finally tune in basically when she goes, "Okay, we're going to take a field trip." We have no idea where the field trip is going to. But we do get to see a sheriff, like a cross cut of a sheriff going to
a doctor.
Yeah, a house
that specializes in freak doctoring.
Yeah, but we don't know about that at that time. So there's like a kind of a lack of information.
Yeah.
But we know that they're going on a field trip, and when they say field trip, they're literally getting onto a bus.
Which is just their living room.
I don't even know if it was a living room anymore, because you pointed out that the second time that we saw the bus, it was just, it was cardboard. And
yeah, definitely cardboard. Like,
and it was like literally there's light outside of the cardboard to imitate sunlight, and then there's just a guy for real, like a lighting guy just
so good, so classic.
The grip is literally just waving a fan or something in front of it.
See, that goes to show, like, back in the day, people weren't paying as much attention.
I feel like they were, because I could pay attention to that. And they were just rocking the camera like it was moving and stuff like that. Anyways, in this scene, we also get a full introduction to every part of the main cast. And when I say main cast, I mean
twice.
But we get a full one first on the bus, and she says hi to everyone, except she throws in her little quips. She's like, "Oh, I see you brought your lettuce." And I was like, okay. And she looks at another one and is like, "I told you to go before we left." What else? There's a couple of other things, but anyways, the biggest point is that we met all of them. Okay, so we met all of them. We know who the main crew is. And
And then they sing.
oh, that's right. They sing
There's a song and dance
on the bus because apparently everyone's
They've got
bored and they've got too much energy.
Personality.
So they do a little jam, and the main woman of the group is actually acting the shit out of the scene.
Yeah, badly. But
No,
she is
not
acting the
badly.
shit
She
out
was
of it.
dancing around like, could you imagine dancing around to a bunch of like special effect?
special.
No, special effect looking monster freak things.
Yes.
Is there any way to say it nicely? I don't even know. It's a movie.
Yeah,
It's
movie
a
couldn't have
crazy
been
movie.
made today. Like, it couldn't have been made today.
It could be made today, and I will bring that back later on. Okay?
Yeah.
I promise you. It's in my notes.
It's in the notes.
It's in the notes, I promise.
Just trust the notes.
Trust the notes. But so it's cardboard essentially. The next time we see them, they're still in the bus, but they pull over. They pull over.
Wow, it's gonna be a long podcast.
No, it's not. Shut up. I'm gonna have to cut this. I'm gonna have to cut this now. What, do you want to say something?
No. I'm just saying we're explaining the whole movie.
No, we're not explaining the whole movie. Let me get into the whole setup of it.
Okay.
Because we have to understand what's happening, and then
What are we
we'll understand where it goes at the end.
What are we seeing?
What are we seeing? We're seeing the audio crew when they shouldn't
In the
even...
reflection of the bus.
In the reflection of the bus, while the main lady has gone into the pharmacy to buy condoms, toys.
Why did she buy condoms? She said extra large.
She also asked for extra large ones, but she also tells the sheriff who was there that she was on a trip with her nephew. Like,
What?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There is kind of a lot of weird things like that. Because, like, when the girl is, like, she's a dominatrix
Mm-hmm.
in the jail, and her father finds her, and he's just like, oh, cover her up. And then there's some weird thing where he's just like,
He knows that she does this all the
you
time.
can call me daddy. It's so weird.
It's weird that he knows that she's into the prisoners and wants to fuck them, wants to play with a whip, and, like, also that she wears that underneath her clothes.
Yeah.
She wears that underneath the clothes? I mean, like, she's just ready to go all the time.
All the time. Like, she's
All of the time.
down with all the prisoners, I guess.
But they keep wanting to say hi to every... Okay, so, like, that's further on. But they keep wanting to say hi to every freak. So once they get to the doctor's house, finally, because the reason why they're going to the doctor's house is because of the pregnancy from the second movie. If that wasn't clear in the first place. Bilal's wife, or...
It's really simple
lady
when you
friend.
explain it.
Yeah.
But when you watch it, it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, because it doesn't flow well. And if I could explain this very simply, this movie is a revenge film. It is 100% a revenge film. But there was a huge intro.
Yeah.
Because, let's just talk about it, okay? Let's get into it. The revenge is that she has the kids. There's fucking 12 of them. 12 kids that she was just like, and if you were to have seen this benign twin, like, she's tiny. How do you have these 12 kids just hanging out inside of you?
Yeah, like 12 foam monsters wouldn't fit in that.
We were okay with 3. We were like, oh my God, there's 3? This is amazing. And then they kept going.
Yeah, because in 3, they could all have personalities and stuff.
Right? And then all of a sudden there was a 4th one, a 5th one, a 6th one, a 7th one, and an 8th one. It just fucking kept going.
Then they just turned into the fucking dwarves from The Hobbit, where you're just like, what?
Yeah, but they weren't even that important. If this movie was supposed to be about them, they weren't even that important.
No, they weren't. And why did the cops kidnap the babies?
I feel like it was supposed to be for some ransom or some proof that there's a bunch of weird shit going on in their town.
What the fuck?
Like, I understand where you're coming from because it just doesn't make sense. Like, there's 2 cops that sneak into the doctor's house where everyone is, and
they kill the mother.
They kill the mother.
Oh, spoilers.
No, yeah, spoiler alert. Fuck that. Like, they
yeah, fuck that. You guys aren't gonna see this movie.
Yeah, no one's gonna see this movie other than us. But I mean, if you want to, it's on Tubi. And then you can actually understand what we're talking about, because a lot of it just doesn't make sense, and we're trying to put it all together and skip the boring parts, because there was a lot of boring parts.
I'd say probably 95% of the movie is boring.
A lot of the movie just didn't need to be written into the movie. I'd have to say the only good part of the movie really was the last 20 minutes, and even the outro of the film was shit. But the birthing scene. Let's go back to the birthing scene. Okay? So we're at the doctor's house. There's there's 12 kids being born, and the doctor's son is Lil Hal. The doctor's name is Uncle Hal. Okay, so Lil Hal has a video camera and is supposed to be recording the birthing, but this guy is probably the worst camera operator I've ever seen. It doesn't even matter. Like, you're not seeing any of the birthing because this guy is talking too much. He's like, he's throwing the camera around, he's pointing it at the ground, and he's like, "Oh my God, three's the
like
cheese."
He can't, like, all the scenes he's in, it's like he can't not be speaking.
He can't not be speaking.
Or not be hamming it up. Because even when you cut to all his, like, hands, he's got, like, 20 hands or whatever, and he's just like, moving them. Like, ooh, look at my hands.
My hands.
And you're just like, we see you have 20 hands. You could just be, like, resting them on your side like normal people do, you know?
Or, like, don't even move them so much.
What are you doing with your hands right now, you know?
Yeah, like, we move them a little bit, but it's just not, like, constant. Like, it felt like it was all uncontrollable. It was kind of stupid that way. I mean, which is fine, but, like, come on, let's think a little bit harder.
Yeah, but he was like that also with talking. Any talking scene, he had to just keep going, you know?
Yeah.
Whoa, man, whoa, holy shit.
Any talking scene between Dwayne and his brother, Bilal, but just didn't make sense because he kept asking Bilal questions, but then cutting him right off.
And like I see that instantaneously gets what they're saying.
Yeah, but if you remember, he's cut off from the brain at that point.
Yeah, I think that's just bad acting.
Oh, it's 100% bad acting. That's what I'm saying, and I see it way too much in any movies that we've recently watched.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the only good acting that in that movie was that one chick.
Oh yeah.
Her line delivery was pretty good, you know, and she felt natural.
She actually, like, you could tell that she was trying to give a shit about Dwayne.
Yeah, where everyone else, like, you can kind of see them thinking about, like, what's my next line?
But also, how can I jazz up the next line, and how can I make my character look nervous? For instance, the cop. He's like, well, like, what does he say? He's like, hectic, or I forget, like, you don't have to overreact, and he's overreacting the entire time, and he's like, I don't need to do this, but, like, I'm going to, but you're doing it now, and then she's doing it, and then knock, knock, knock. Who's that? Oh my God, is there someone there? Yeah, you're a fucking cop. Like, fucking grow up hair nuts, dude. Like, this is your house. It's
whole
literally
police
the police
force
station
are a
there.
group of pussies.
Oh my god, it was awful. It was awful.
But I mean, that's classic horror like tropes. Is like the cops are the stupidest.
And one of them was an Elvis guy that, like, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna,
Ooh.
hey baby, no. How do you do Elvis? Not like that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna take a Listerine and put it in my mouth, and I'm gonna take that Listerine and spit on out."
Whoa, that was good.
Well, that's what he was saying.
yeah. He does the hokey pokey as fucking Elvis.
And, like, I gotta say, this is like, we skipped a little ahead there, but, like, it's when Bilal starts going on his revenge part of the film, because the cops had just killed his wife, his partner, took his 12 kids. He wants to kill everyone. So what he does is he takes the guy with a bunch of different hands and goes, "I want a death killing machine."
And he makes it.
And he and at some point in this film, I feel like it's not this scene, but maybe the scene before, he's like drugged up, and he ends up having a threesome with like 2 beautiful naked women with
That was like at the beginning.
big old. No, it was not at the beginning.
I forget.
It was at the doctor's house though. And I'm really worried about those women, because they were sucking on his like gross fungus-filled nails.
Gross.
And like, why there was definitely sexploitation in this, and like, it didn't make me feel good.
It made me feel a little dirty.
No, it made me feel disgusting. Made me feel like
It
not
made
wanting
me feel like I
wanting to
wanted
watch
to
this
vomit.
film
Yeah.
anymore. Just one more thing before we get into like kind of the ending here. There was just random freaks that would show up out of nowhere. And we were introduced to them twice before. How the hell?
Yeah.
How the hell did they start introducing more people? They
Yeah,
started
I don't
introducing
know.
more people, and it just made me laugh every time I saw them, because we were already quoting our each other on how they met.
Yeah, and what happened to, what was that, Floyd? The la 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 la
La, yeah, from the
opera
second one,
singer.
yeah, I
He was
missed
gone. He
Floyd,
was
huh?
absent.
Not even in this one at
That
all.
was my favorite character.
I know, and they cut him right away.
Bastards.
I know. And like,
They even had a song and dance number. They could have incorporated him into it. And, like, what the
'Kay.
hell were they thinking?
I just need to grab a beer really quick. Tell me what you thought about the last 20 minutes. And when I say that, I'm talking about how they filmed the revenge, because there was a lot of revenge killing.
I've kind of forgotten it already. What did happen?
So the revenge killing started at the police station, trying to get.
Oh, yeah, he kills all the cops. And then
Yeah. So tell me what you feel about that. And then he goes and tries to kill the rest of the cops plus the sheriff.
exactly that. Yeah, he went to...
He went to.
I'm having a hard time remembering.
Why?
I don't know. What did happen?
All right, well, I'm going to keep this trucking along. What happened was that he started the revenge film because his partner was killed, right? His kids were taken. He had to go and save both his brother and his kids.
Wait, what happened to all the kids? Did they like drown them in like a pillowcase?
No.
Oh wait.
No, one accidentally gets smushed by the daughter of the sheriff who gets shot randomly by a shotgun, like accidentally, and then she falls and crushes one of them with her butt.
Her butt.
Her bum. Just like
Yeah, I'm having a hard time recalling.
I don't even know why, but you know what? This just proves to me how shitty this film was.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say it anymore.
Like,
so then Belil in his murder machine goes and starts taking out everyone else. He gets to the sheriff, and there's a big long fight scene that doesn't even make sense because
I feel like I'm watching it for the first time through you.
well, you know what? I was paying attention. I was taking notes.
Yeah. Take notes next time, motherfucker.
Take notes. Want to know what my main note was?
What?
Josh
Didn't take notes.
was quoting the cops, and the cop said, "All the retards scare me." Just kidding. But actually, that was one of the biggest notes. So Josh, I guess if you were starting from scratch, what would you change? Except you don't remember this movie, so what would you give it instead?
Well, I would go back to the first movie, and then I would, you know how like, you could go back, and just like if you go back in time and just like abort some terrible human being like as a fetus, I would go back to Basket Case 2, like the first time you ever thought of it, and I would abort it right there. Just coat hanger, boom. Abort Basket Case. Do not pursue. Think of something better. Think of something else. Anything.
Like Frankenhooker.
Frankenhooker, yeah.
Frankenhooker.
Oh,
Excuse
God.
me, like that one.
You see, he's just full of great ideas. So, like, ooh.
Henenlauter.
But yeah, I would abort Basket Case, and I would have just moved on with my life.
So, what would you give it out of 10?
0.
Oh man, because you know what? Number 1 Basket Case, I'm pretty sure you gave it something good. Or no, it was
I gave
Frankenstein's Army, excuse me.
Yeah, that was Frankenstein's Army, dude. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but the first Basket Case was all right. It was a lot better than the second and third one. So, I'm going to have to give this movie a 1. I can't recommend it to anybody. The only reason why we watched the second and third one was because we felt the need to close it up.
And everyone bailed on us.
And when people bail on you, you gotta have a backup plan.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think it worked out well because I get to talk about it with my friends. I get to talk about it at work. Be like, yeah, I watched this messed up movie last night.
Yeah.
They're like, Dan again?
Yeah, like I was literally asked, like, what have you seen lately? And I'm like, I'm not ready to discuss any of that at work. I don't want you guys to know what I've been watching.
It's kind of embarrassing. Have you ever heard of Basket Case? They're like, no. Just let me tell you.
Yeah, don't.
The biggest question is, what's in the basket? But okay, let me say one more thing. Because
that was hold
on. If we could make this movie today, the first one, the second one, the third one, no, sorry, not the first one, the second one and the third one, with this whole idea of like a freak sanctuary and stuff like that, like I understand it, but with all of the extra people there, it didn't make sense. So if you were to take all of the freaks out, it would have actually been a good movie.
Or made them cannibals. That would be awesome.
I think you're missing the point here. If you took out all the freaks, it would have actually been a good movie because they were all acting their hearts out.
Yeah, it could have been like a character piece.
It could have been so good because, hey,
maybe not so good.
Dwayne and Belil, like they are having their issues. Yeah, it could still be a revenge film with Belil and his partner, but you don't need the extra people. You overdid it. You done overdid it, Frank.
Could have done 3 movies with just the 2 guys.
Oh my God. Like, honestly, why did you add more people? We were confused in the second one, and we were more confused in the third one.
I was shocked.
Very shocked. Because all I wanted to hear in the second movie and the third movie was, what's in the basket?